This is Terracross. In the season opener, 20-year-old Mickey Thomas burst into the spotlight with a surprise victory against a veteran field. But it's a new race, and with RJ Anderson, Levi LaValle, and last year's overall champion Jason Luberg in the field of X Games medalists, off-road racers, and action sports personalities, we are in for spectacular racing action.
I think there's going to be a lot of carnage.
It's gonna be a fun show.
Terracross starts now. Welcome to beautiful San Diego, California, just up the coast in Del Mar at the San Diego Fair, where race number 2 of the 2015 Terracross Championships will take the main stage. Hi everybody, Kevin Barnett alongside Paul Thacker, and we are in the mecca of off-road industry and culture, Southern California. In race 1, we saw young gun Mickey Thomas emerge as a true contender for the 2015 championship. He held off the world's best Terracross racers, including 2013 champ RJ Anderson and last year's winner, Jason Luberg. Luberg came home in 3rd, and his consistency won him the overall title last year. This year, he's out for checkered flags. And as a former ATV racer and reigning Terracross champ, he knows what it's going to take to remain on top.
I want to go out and win. I want to go out and push hard, but the best plan is for me to just remain consistent.
3rd place in round 1, and he continues to face a whole host of talented action sports stars.
That's right, we've got winter X Games medalists such as Chris Baran and Levi LaValle. We've got freestyle motocross superstars Jeremy Twitch Stenberg and Ronnie Feist, and MMA UFC fighter Josh Koscheck. That's a heck of a field of talented personalities.
Well, I wonder what happens if Koscheck gets into a conflict at the end, gets out of a cage and asks someone else to get in the cage. Let's focus on what's going to happen on track and what has happened so far. These athletes already qualified for our main event.
Today's favorite, RJ Anderson qualifying number 1. Race 1 winner Mickey Thomas, 3rd spot. We've got rock stars Colton Moore, as well as Jeremy Stenberg. And as much as he brings talent-wise, he's one of several big personalities.
Yeah, so me and Twitch been friends forever, and it's always a competition. Like, he likes to run his mouth and talk, so I just like to beat him to shut him up.
Feist's always talking smack, but Feist's track record speaks for itself. Anything he gets in, he rolls, so I'm not really worried about Feist.
I don't care about winning this race. I just care about beating Twitch.
I think it's pretty sweet to come to my first Terracross event, and the only thing I have to do is beat Jason Ellis.
Whoever beats who's got to get the portrait of the other person tattooed on their butt.
And that's way worth it. It's way worth the risk. It's because of the reward.
I can't wait. I hope I get paired up with him and get the battle with Feist and Ellis, because if I do, I'm going to push him off the track for sure.
Those guys always keep it entertaining. Our own Paul Thacker is down on course right now with Chris Barant.
All right, I'm down here in the 211 Polaris Razor of Chris Brandt. Not only is Chris racing, but he's also doing double duty as our in-race analyst. Chris, on any racetrack, there's key sections. Take me through a few of these.
Yeah, this section right here, Paul, this is where we have the transition from dirt to actually concrete. And this concrete with a little bit of dirt sprinkled on here is super slippery. So this is the first section in this track that you really have to set up correctly for.
Gotcha.
This second section right here, this sets you up for the longest straight on the track. So this is where you have to really nail this corner. And again, you're on concrete, but I like to use the berm out here to really set me up to haul butt down to this final corner here.
Awesome, take me through the last one.
All right. So Paul, is really important right there. This is the gnarliest technical part of the track. You've got to set up in that corner perfect to exit through the Mystik Mangler.
Awesome, man. Hey, thanks for your time. Good luck today.
All right, thanks.
Good information there, Paul, in a couple of sections of the course. Let's go through the whole thing with the Keystone Automotive keys to the track. Once around, it starts with a couple of tight left-handers.
Tight left-handers into a big right before the over-under. My favorite section of the track. Such a cool feature. Big double into a really important section. There's 3 lanes. Guys get to pick which one they're favoriting. It completely depends. And then into this section that Chris and I talked about. This cement is so key, so slippery, as you've seen in the past where guys are making mistakes.
We'll have a lot of action there, guys sliding into one another, outside, inside, tipping over, and then this, the Mystik Mangler.
Back outside of the arena, big double to finish, and then you're starting another lap.
All right, enough virtual reality. Let's get into reality. The number 23 of Mitch Guthrie Jr. in the back row there in what is a loaded LCQ as we look at our Optimus starters start list.
Yeah, Mr. Guthrie won a race here last year in Del Mar. We've got Dana Creech, he's also a race winner from last year. And Levi LaValle, all-around snowmobile talent. He's looking for his first Terracross win.
Underway, and it's Levi LaValle up front early. He takes the whole shot with that LaValle 108 Polaris Razor.
Yeah, he got a great jump off the line, took that inside. Boy, look how wet that track is right there. There's going to be some visibility issues if you're not out front.
On board now with course designer Dana Creech. He does it in combination with Jason Lubricant.
Yeah, and you can already see Dana getting that mud slung up on that helmet of his. And we've got, is that Rodders making a move on LaValle on the inside?
Yeah, Rodders up front, number 16 on the Fox Polaris Razor. Good to see him upright after race number 1 when the Mystik Mangler claimed him early.
Yeah, he's looking pretty solid. Made us. Oh, he got
going in
going
circles,
around.
Dana Creech.
Creech is going the wrong direction. Look at the guys setting up on that cement. It's so slippery, very key, tough driving in that corner right there.
Once again on board, GoPro on board with Levi LaValle up and over the Mystik Mangler in that 108, but it is Cody Rodders up front in the 16.
Rodders is looking really good out front, getting through those sections, hitting his marks. We didn't get to see much of him in round 1 as he was claimed by the Mystik Mangler early.
So LaValle in second.
Transfer position for LaValle. He's probably enjoying that spot at the moment.
Fox Racing's number 16, Cody Rodders getting away.
But he's looking really, really good.
That inside berm looking like it's building up already. That inside line was the most popular.
Yeah, you can see on that way inside line, some of that concrete showing through on the dirt, probably making it a little bit slippery. Looks like that inside line might be the fastest.
Here comes James Hill. He's trying the outside line. Pinching him off is Levi LaValle.
Oh, and they get into each other. It's a drag race down the concrete.
Giving him a shot. Here we go, LaValle. Oh, that was nice and clean. Good job.
Oh, wow. Hill with a great inside move.
Perfect pass by number 91. GoPro on board, Levi LaValle once again.
Boy, look at him just getting bounced around. You can't really do it justice how rough this track is unless you're inside in that buggy.
Fox proving grounds outside. Doing nothing to the number 91 of James Hill.
The 108 buggy of Levi LaValle is on the outside looking in. He needs to start making some moves if he's going to make it to the final. 2
spots available for the main. LCQ number 1 wrapping up in a moment.
The 2015 Terracross Championships on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Polaris Razor. By Mystik Lubricants, the official racing lubricant of Terracross. Learn more at MystikLubes.com. And by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera.
Welcome back to the GBC Mongrel Tire Wheel-to-Wheel Terracross race, part of the 2015 Terracross Championship. Coming to you from Del Mar, California, just north of San Diego, as we're back on board with Levi LaValle, known for his snowcross and other activities in the winter.
That's right. He is a very accomplished X Games medalist. The guy is all things snowmobile.
I think he broke somebody's record recently.
Oh, you had to bring that up. Yeah, no, actually, he set a new world record of well over 400 feet here in San Diego a few years back on New Year's, breaking my earlier record. But I congratulated the guy. We're actually good friends, so I was pumped for him.
Time to get back on the snow machine, Paul Thacker.
That's right. I'm ready.
White flag out. It's looking good for number 16, Cody Rodders. He's been steady, but that's not very steady for number 91, James Hill, who's in second.
It's any way you can get around this course. Banging off the side protection, obviously, is one way to do it.
LaValle, not much distance to make up 3 seconds. Still looking a ways back as Cody Rodders takes the checkered flag and position at number 1 out of LCQ number 1 into our main event. Here's the number 91. Looks like James Hill is going to get out of the LCQ for the second consecutive race. There it is.
Unfortunately, Mr. LaValle will be watching this main event. He's not going to be stoked, but the guy's always all smiles, so you won't see him doing anything but.
Fox's Cody Rodders moves up, and at the beginning, it was all about LaValle off the start.
Levi got a great jump. That inside line looked good from the beginning.
Dana Creech would go in a 360. It's not how you win a race.
It's not quite the direction he was going.
Pass of the race for James Hill there on the inside, but the race win goes to Cody Rodders. Here he is with Lorette Nickel.
Cody, there were a lot of heavy hitters in your LCQ, Dana Creech and Levi LaValle being among them. How did you hold them off?
Yeah, I know. I definitely came out of that first main event not knowing what I wanted the best intentions for it, and I knew I had to make some good solid passes out there, and I just kind of tried to pick them off one by one and then hit my laps one by one.
All right, well, congratulations. We are going to see him in the main. Guys, back to you.
Good move into the main event for Cody Rodders and James Hill. That was a loaded LCQ. LaValle, Creech, and Mitch Guthrie Jr., winner here last year, all done for the day. All but 2 spots set for our main event. Let's find 2 more with our Optimus starting list here. And here is Jason Luberg. What's he doing in the LCQ? Let's find out.
Well, our defending champion, Jason Luberg, can't really believe it. You find yourself in the LCQ. Are you going to let the race come to you?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. I didn't expect to be here, but at least I got the first pole position in the LCQ, so we'll try and make it happen.
All right, well, with a third in race number 1, he is going for that win here. Guys, back to you.
So Luberg's going to have to do it from behind, but he will have some stiff competition. Josh Koscheck checking in, the UFC fighter. Joe Sylvester, he's raced just about everything. Drag race, go-karts, whatever.
Ronnie Feist back in the back. That's not where he wants to be, but we'll see what he can do in this LCQ, make something happen.
LCQ number 2. Last 2 spots in the main event.
Big jump by Luberg on the inside. Sylvester on the outside, a little bit too far outside. Looks like Luberg's got that hole shot.
Rath into second. Oh, making a move up the inside, Sylvester.
Koscheck was doing a little 2-wheel motion there. Look at him charge into that inside corner trying to make a move.
GoPro on board, Daryl Rath into the stadium, over the double. The over-under, and you see the air time there.
Yeah, these are really big jumps. TV doesn't quite do it justice, but being here live, I mean, they're 70 feet, 80 to the sweet spot. That's a heck of a jump.
The fan sitting at home says, I'd jump that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go perch on the edge and see how it looks then, Bob. Coming in hot, that's the 42. Joe Sylvester, he's in third. That's not where you want to be.
Oh, Luberg getting a little wide, spinning out, opens the door for Daryl Rath to take that inside, make the pass for the first spot.
Rath inside, right back comes Luberg. Up over the Mystik Mangler.
Fighting for every inch. Good stuff.
Luberg does not want to be in that second place spot in the closing moments of LCQ number 2. You want to be in first. You want to be one clear of the last qualifying position.
Like Daryl Rath, he sure makes that razor wide when he's out front. Really a tough guy to pass.
Back on board with Rath. Seen a couple of nice slides. Over under, one of the most unique things here in Terracross.
Such a cool feature. It's a little nerve-wracking. I've been out there and jumped it, and yeah, I don't know if I want to be underneath that when one was going over the top of me.
Remember, these are stock Polaris Razor 1000s. You can watch racing now and go pull an identical vehicle off the showroom floor right after the race if you want.
Put a helmet on and you're Terracross racing, right?
You can't say that about any other form of racing. You can't just go buy the exact same vehicle. Rath on board. Up and over the Mystik Mangler and almost over completely.
Man, I tell you, there's a fine line on that Mystik Mangler, and those guys are navigating it pretty well.
Back out into the Fox Proving Grounds. This is where you really see the suspension work.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. Those are stock machines going through that section like that. I mean, it's like you're driving a mini trophy truck. It's really, really cool.
Stock Walker Evans shocks really getting after it. You don't know who Walker Evans is. Get on Wikipedia right now.
If you've ever driven anything 4 wheels, you should know who Walker Evans is.
Look it up, boys and girls.
Boy, Luberg is all over Daryl Rath right here, making a push for that top spot in the LCQ.
Good thing right now is they're pushing each other to a big lead, barring a huge mistake, which is not out of the question. These two guys will transfer. Maybe take it easy on the pass, Luberg.
Boy, Luberg is in a transfer spot, man. Don't push it too hard. Did you see that? Whoa.
Vehicles everywhere.
Luberg getting into the back of Daryl. We've got razors upside down, all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh, the craziness of Terracross racing. You gotta love it. Make sure you get out and see one of the 6 race series this year. Coming to Minnesota and Charlotte after these events in San Diego. Oh, it's a 3-man race all of a sudden. 42, Joe Sylvester back in the picture.
Where did he come from?
Did he cut the track somewhere?
Out of nowhere.
Somebody better check his transponder.
But Luberg is all over Rath, not lifting one bit. He wants this W. Looks like he's taking that inside lane. Good move. Is he going to make it stick?
Coming to the end, it'll be some aggressive driving.
Oh,
there it is, the champ.
Gets the inside, takes that lead spot. Just about gives it back up there.
I can't believe these two guys and how aggressive they are with one another. They're both transferring as of now. We'll have the conclusion of LCQ number 2 coming up. Action fast and furious. Terracross 2015. GBC Mongrel Tire wheel-to-wheel Terracross happening right now here in San Diego. Luberg up front, about to take the white flag. 1 lap to go. Jason Luberg looking to get to the main event for the 2nd consecutive race.
Boy, Luberg is on a mission this LCQ. He made a little bobble, got past, now he's back way up front.
On board again with Daryl Rath, who sits in 2nd, almost 4 seconds back.
I feel like Daryl's probably conceded. He's happy to be in a transfer position. He's saving his buggy for the final.
These guys are done banging wheels for now anyway.
Man.
That was a big setup right there by Luberg on the outside.
And, you know, you have to almost think that even though he's starting in the back of the pack, Luberg's getting some key, almost practice laps, finding his line as the track's different from lap to lap. Might give him a bit of advantage in the final. Looking solid around that corner through the Fox Proving Grounds. Looking really good.
The hard work is done for Luberg and Rath. Couple of turns to go, and they will head back, get their machines ready for our main event. Last 2 qualifiers. There's the checkers. Jason Luberg. He'll get another shot at a podium spot in 2015.
You know, Luberg's, I like his chances in the final. He got a few extra practice laps. He's going to have to come from behind, but I feel like he can do it.
Luberg's patience will be tested. He didn't show too much patience in that LCQ as we get to our Polaris Power Performance. And it is Jason Luberg pushing to the front despite already having a qualifying position.
Man, he took that middle lane in the triple lane section, really made a solid pass on Daryl Rath for the win.
And you win, you get to talk to Lorette Nickel.
Well, he took the win in the LCQ. That means he's moving straight into the main, but you're going to be towards the back. How do you pick your way through all of those drivers?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot going on in front of me. Kind of just takes the pressure off, just hang back and see what happens, kind of just play off of other people's mistakes and just go from there, not get too excited. You know, can't get in a hurry because there's a lot of people in front of me.
Now, does that #1 plate bring a lot of pressure with it?
Yeah, it does. It does bring some pressure. Last year was just easy peasy, you know, just cruise along, and this year I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself more than anything.
All right, well, here's hoping for great things for Jason Luberg in the main. Guys?
Love the honesty from Jason Luberg there saying, yeah, the #1 plate, it's heavy. He carried it that time to the victory in the LCQ. He and Daryl Rath moving on. Koscheck will have to live to fight another day.
Him and Ronnie Feist as well. I feel kind of bad for Ronnie.
Kids excited about the women's final coming up. Let's look back at race 1 with Sarah Price.
this track is very technical. You have to stay calm. Like, that's the most and foremost thing that you have to do here. And so I just, you know, I wanted to get out front as fast as I could and just ride my own race and stay calm and collected, and that's what I did, and tried making few as mistakes as I could. I'm also sharing the car with James Hill, so I have to keep it together for him and me, so we both are, you know, working together to keep it alive. And yeah, I was super excited to pull that off, and it was a good, smooth race.
Sarah Price, first race winner of 2015. As we look at the Optimus starters start list, Sarah Price up there again on the pole position in the 91. Whatever Sarah and James are doing, it's working. Let's look at the rest of the field. Danielle Weatherly, we saw her do a nose stand in race 1.
She was fairly entertaining in race 1, yes.
Katie Vernola.
I think that was Dana Creech as her co-pilot. I'm not sure if I want Dana Creech as my co-pilot.
Oh, he built the track. Might be good.
There you go.
Women's final, race 2 underway.
Once again, Sarah Price, she's so good off the line. Big start, inside line, getting through that section, looking pretty clean.
Weatherly tight to the inside. She will take over second place.
Well, they are all banged up, or bunched up, I should say.
Nearly single file.
These ladies are such talented drivers. It's great to see. And the women's class, it's growing more and more each year, each race. It's great to see.
3 different lines available, everyone chosen. Price to the far outside. Oh, coming in hot! Vernola!
Wow, that's one way to get around that section right there. Just put it up a little rail jam.
Vernola now around Anderson, number 5. Anderson right back as they come up to the Mystik Mangler.
Oh, and she's taking that way outside line. We haven't seen that. Take it to, oh
taking
man.
It to her. Vernola crushes Anderson. They're hung up.
Wow. That section gets super tight, and yeah, just Vernola just was not lifting at all.
Oh, the fans love it. This is why you want to come to a Terracross. Sarah Price looking for 2 when we come back. Women's final of the GBC Mongrel Tire wheel-to-wheel Terracross. Here from Del Mar, and Sarah Price was dominant in race 1. She's doing it again in race 2.
Yeah, she's picking up right where she left off in race 1. I mean, man, she's got a commanding lead, to say the least.
Last lap for Price, followed by Anderson, who survived that collision.
Yeah, her and Vernola got into quite a violent side-by-side altercation a little bit earlier. It's good to see her back on track.
Crowd loving the action back on the concrete one more time. You have to tiptoe around that section if you're by yourself.
Yeah, that is a slippery corner, and this is no time for mistakes. Sarah Price is being very cautious.
Sarah Price, no stranger to the dirt. Rode WMX for years when that was available. Drove motocross, and now into the UTV ranks.
With just as much success. She's pretty fast on 4 wheels.
One more left-hand turn, and it's 2 in a row for Sarah Price. Look for the checkers and the pay.
Very nice back-to-back wins for Sarah Price, and very deserved. She has driven 2 very, very solid races to start this season.
Price in first, Anderson in second. Weatherly comes home third, and it was Price from the beginning.
Yeah, Sarah Price, wire to wire. Great ride. Some entertainment there by Vernola. Little wall ride action.
Vernola provided the fans everything they wanted. Some 2-wheel action and some crashes. Let's get to the Polaris Racer winners interview.
She goes back-to-back with 2 wins, taking round 2. Sarah Price, congratulations. Did you feel the pressure from second place coming up on you?
Yeah, the first lap, they just watered the track and everything was super slick, and then we're also driving in 2-wheel drive today, so it was tough. Danielle was pretty close to me for a little bit, and then she actually flipped it, and I heard the crowd just roar, and I was kind of looking around, and I just seen her just land on her wheels, and then I was like, oh, what happened? Like, I didn't see it, but she ended up getting right back on the track, and I was like, oh, that's so rad. But it was cool and an exciting race.
Guys, Sarah Price takes round 2. Great job. Back to you.
A look at the Universal Technical Institute women's final results. 2 in a row for Sarah Price.
Sarah Price, so dominant. No doubt she is our current points leader.
Shelby Anderson in second. Danielle Weatherly puts on another show and finishes third. Next up, the men. And competition only getting more intense year over year here in Terracross.
The competition out here is pretty insane.
Out here, the competition's stiff all the way around. Competition field, I would probably say R.J. Anderson. R.J. Anderson.
R.J. Anderson.
R.J. obviously.
I'm sure there is a target on my back.
Jason Luberg took it last year.
Jason took first, Dana took second.
As far as who to beat this year, it's hard to call. There's so many new faces, so many new people.
You got a lot of the crossover guys like Levi and Colton Moore.
The biggest competition, I think, as far as I know, are the guys that were winning races last year. You know, Mitch Guthrie Jr.'s back and Dana's back.
I mean, obviously Twitch and Ellis. I mean, it's a toss-up. All these guys out here can win it no matter what because it's chaos out here. It's carnage.
GBC Mongrel Tire Wheel-to-Wheel Terracross 2015 Terracross Championship Race 2, and on the pole again, R.J. Anderson.
Well, R.J. Anderson in the pole position yet again for round 2. He was in the pole position for round 1, but man, that did not work out. There is no guarantees in Terracross, are there?
Yeah, I guess we can't say the pole is good luck, right? Good qualifying, 2 good heat races, and then just some bad luck struck in the main. I broke an axle on the first lap, and once I broke the axle, I got crossed up and broke a tie rod. But I mean, with one axle, you're only at 50% drive anyways in the rear, so that was all she wrote. So hopefully, final number 2, good starting position, keep it together, and finish this thing. I don't even care where I finish, I want to finish.
Well, how are you going to keep it together?
That's the question of the day right there. How are we going to keep it together? I mean, these guys are all going so fast in this class now. It's like, you got to push the car to stay up there, but it's just like a fine line of how hard you want to push it. So there's going to be guys that break. So it's keeping the car together, but staying enough ahead to not let these guys get to you.
Absolutely. Hopefully you are not one of those guys that breaks. Best of luck. Guys, back to you.
RJ's goal, make it through lap 1 this time. No doubt the kid has the talent.
He's so fast and definitely the guy to beat. So we'll see how he does.
Middle of row 1, Brandon Sims, and on the outside of row 1, our race 1 winner, Mickey Thomas, hoping to repeat.
Yeah, that kid just keeps impressing. He's nerves of steel.
Inside of row 2, Mike Johnson, and then it'll be Cole Coutu. He was a factor, finished second in race 1.
We've got Colton Moore, the Winter X Games gold medalist. The kid is very talented. He's been doing a little truck racing himself, so we'll see if that lends to side-by-siding today.
Optimus starters starting grid. BC Vaught, Morant, Ives all in the back of the field. This is a crowded affair.
Look at all those buggies. That's just so crazy.
12 laps, mad carnage and racing action for your enjoyment. RJ Anderson.
Oh, another good, solid inside start. RJ knows how to do it. Mickey Thomas. Not quite be able to get that inside, and RJ gets the whole shot.
Thomas, quick move from the outside of row 1. And all of a sudden, it looks very similar. Some of the same players involved.
You know, I have to think these first couple laps is going to be a little bit of caution, but not too much. You know, RJ's fast. These guys want to not let him get out front too far.
Watch RJ once he gets to that Mystik Mangler. See how easy he takes it. That was the death of him in race 1.
You can see these guys picking that inside line again. I'm not sure if that's a defensive move or if it's actually fast. Oh, Mickey Thomas spinning out. He's got to let all those guys go by.
No, he doesn't.
Apparently not.
Just back up into him. Mike Johnson unable to get by, and further out ahead goes R.J. Anderson.
RJ has to be a little bit stoked. He's past the Mystik Mangler. Nothing but clear sailing ahead of him at the moment.
Let's check in with our guy, 211, Chris Brandt, in the middle of the field.
All right, guys, coming into the track here. The track's actually in really good shape here for these first few laps. Man, just got roosted right in the face. But, man, you can see coming into the sun's right in your face. I don't have tear off, so this is just absolutely crazy. Coming inside the sky, man, woo, gnarly.
No tear-offs. Get him a goggle guy.
I'm pretty sure he's got some sort of goggle sponsor. Whoa! RJ getting a little squirrely there. But yeah, Chris talking about visibility. You know, tear-offs, you can pull the plastic off so you can see clear again. Chris does not have that at the moment, apparently. So all that mud and dust is just caking on his goggles each lap.
Anderson smooth through the concrete. Sims right behind. And now the battle for third up the inside. Here comes Cole Coutu as we go GoPro on board.
Cole had such a good first race, ended up in that second spot. He is hungry for another podium position in that Hanco Utilities Fox Polaris RZR.
2 podium spots looking occupied for the moment. Brandon Sims in the 13X. That's the Lone Star Fox ride. There's that Hanco Utilities ride, number 21, bright orange.
He's looking pretty good. I'd like to see Cole. He's such a good kid, really great family, a lot of racing background. It'd be nice to see him on the top of the box.
I like how his helmet matches the frame of his UTV. Well done. Into that right-hander now choosing. Looks like he'll go up the inside. Nice counter steer.
RJ is so good. You know, he races a lot of the two-wheel drive stadium truck stuff. I'm sure that lends to that drifting in the corners quite well.
First and second looking good. RJ followed by Brandon, and then the battle is on. Darren Parsons in the picture in that PRP Seats KC Highlights ride, number 66.
He is definitely making a push for that third spot. Cole Coutu's feeling that pressure, knows he's right there.
Good look at the focus of Anderson. Here comes Coutu. Once again, Fox proving grounds and then back into the stadium.
You know, I wonder if Parsons in that fourth spot pushing for third has not sped those guys up. It looks like they're reeling in the second spot.
Things about to get very busy for Brandon Sims.
Oh yeah, you can see that Cole Coutu has definitely made some time on that second position.
Different lines being utilized. Parsons now up into that berm. He looks like he's getting a good drive.
RJ Anderson is such a solid driver, never making any mistakes. Tough guy to beat on four wheels.
You have to wonder what race one would have looked like had he not broken on lap 1.
You know, I have a sneaking hunch it might have looked a lot like what we're seeing right now. Oh no!
Cole Coutu upside down and on the side.
Huge mistake. Oh.
Red flags. Well, this will tighten everything up and make it more interesting. Take a look back here, rear camera. Coming over that double.
Looks like he just came up a little bit short. Maybe nosed it in. I'm not sure, but man, ow. Oh, that was nasty.
Other forms of racing, you might be finished for the day, but not in Terracross. Put it back on four wheels and go again. Men's Terracross final race 2. Let's check in with Chris Brandt, the 211.
Well, guys, that was some chaotic first laps here. You know, I love the red flag. It gives me a chance. You know, I started kind of back row there, so it gives me a chance to get back up front. You know, really trying to take care of the car here and get through that first corner mayhem. I mean, I got so stacked up. Guys were running into each other, locked into each other, and I'm just looking forward to kind of skirting around all that and putting a few more clean laps in.
Kevin Barnett along with Paul Thacker here in Del Mar. And Paul, I wonder, how different is a red flag restart from the start of the race when it comes to nerves for the driver?
You know, well, the red flag restarts, they put single file. So you're a little less enticed into maybe diving in that corner, getting stacked up. The only thing you're going to do is run into the guy in front of you, so you got to be a little bit more patient. It's quite a bit different.
Remember back to the start, they were 3 wide going into the first turn. As you come back into the stadium once again, and already going away, R.J. Anderson.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was super stoked with the reflag, rack him back up type start, but it looks like he's handling it fairly well.
Anderson continues in first, 31 inside there.
Inside, making a move. Can he make it stick?
Colton Moore. Looks like he's gaining some experience.
You know, that inside line's really looking solid. When the guys can hit their marks right, looks pretty fast.
You caught a quick shot there at Jason Luberg, who's in the picture anyway, with his striking distance of looking at maybe third. There he is coming up the inside, and once again, our defending champ, R.J. Anderson, champ the year before, nearly undefeated that season.
Yeah, he had a heck of a good season. Last year, a little bit of bad luck. Wasn't quite able to put it together, but he was in the mix all year long.
13X Lone Stars Brandon Sims in second. In third, Darren Parsons still in there with a podium spot. Let's check in with Chris Brandt.
Oh, guys, I got just a little too anxious. Got a little happy on the throttle there on that concrete. I told myself I didn't want to do it and spun right out. Running fifth, now I'm at the back. Got some work to do.
The layman might think you could just hammer the throttle all the time, but it's really about power management.
Yeah, really, you have to be light on the throttle. It's just so little traction in that part. Coming in and out of great traction, so it's a unique section for sure.
Top 3 close together on board with Brandon Sims. He is right up on the bumper.
Right there. I'm not sure if RJ made a mistake or Brandon's just driving the wheels off that Razor.
GoPro on board with R.J. Anderson still up front, at least for the moment. How different is it when you can see the guy in front of you, and then how different is it when you can almost reach out and touch his bumper?
I would say they're both pretty solid pressure positions to be in, but when that guy's on your bumper, it's hard to concentrate on what you're doing and try not to let him get around you.
And does the guy who's behind drive better, do you think, when he can actually have touch with the guy in front of him?
Well, I mean, if you're that close and you're touching bumpers, you know you're faster than the guy in front of you, and it's just a matter of time before you can get around him.
We'll see if Brandon Sims can pick out a spot to look for a pass, maybe the end of the concrete.
RJ setting up here. Solid drift. Oh, no. Sims overcommits a little bit, makes a mistake, gives RJ a little bit more breathing room.
Sims trying to make a pass, but running the risk of opening the door for Parsons at the same time.
You can see that section right there, how there's ruts and the guys are trying to drive outside the ruts. All kinds of different lines developing on this track.
Walker Evans, R.J. Anderson making quick work of the proving grounds once again. Left and a right, he'll be headed back into the stadium.
RJ's driving so good. He's just such a talent. It's great to watch.
Oh, cartwheel in the back!
Oh, no.
That's Mickey Thomas.
Oh, our race 1 winner is upside down and then right side up again.
You shouldn't open the door for a passenger mid-flight, Mickey.
Holy smokes, that was gnarly.
Our race 1 winner opens the door for somebody new in race 2. We'll have the conclusion of the men's main after this.
The 2015 Terracross Championships on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Polaris Razor and by Mystik Lubricants, the official racing lubricant of Terracross. Learn more at MystikLubes.com.
GBC Mongrel Tire wheel-to-wheel Terracross racing. It has delivered from a standpoint of excitement, and R.J. Anderson has delivered in race number 2.
He was favored to win this race, and he is definitely not disappointing. The guy is out front and driving with a vengeance.
The Walker Evans racer has not let red flags or any opponent bother him throughout this race. He's just driven his lines.
Yeah, and you have to hats off to Sims, who is in that second spot, and you know he's back a little bit, but he's not so far from striking distance.
Third of huge questions. Parsons a little bit out of shape, and here comes Luberg.
Wow, Luberg all the way from the back row has just passed into the third and final podium position. Unbelievable.
Patience, the order of the day for Jason Luberg, who's in third, and if he finishes in third, he'll actually be our points leader again.
That's so amazing. He's obviously found the recipe for success. The guy is just so consistent, but to come from the back row and put himself on a podium, just unbelievable.
On board with Brandon Sims in second. He has to be looking over his shoulder right now because you know Luberg is going to be on it.
He is on a mission. What a great drive for Luberg this race.
Anderson creeping around that right-hander. Sims doing the same.
And you can see Luberg come into the picture there. He's a handful of seconds back, but he is definitely within striking distance of that second place position.
Oh, trying to go outside, a little tight. That looked like a good line.
Luberg with a great corner. He's got that thing on rails.
I don't know how much of a drive he got out of it. Still creeping, couple of laps to go, still time.
RJ with a comfortable lead out front. I mean, the guy just he doesn't make any mistakes. It's incredible to watch.
How much can you relax versus how much do you need to push this late in a race when you have a decent lead?
You know, I would think that he's going to lay up a little bit, but not too much. These two gentlemen that are in second, third place are not holding back.
There's Luberg ever closer. 2 laps to go.
And Luberg is driving so good. I just can't believe he's already, I mean, third position from the back row. He wanted to wait and see what.
Oh, no, there it goes. That might have been the end of third. We'll see if fourth can close up. Parsons, we'll see how close Parsons can get in the 66, and he's right there. Now it's Parsons with a fire lit under him.
There is never any shortage of action in Terracross racing, that is for sure.
First and second looking pretty well established. The question is, who will come home in third?
As Anderson gets the white flag, we've got 1 lap to go. Where is Jason Luberg?
Where is Luberg and where is Parsons? That's the question. Right behind him, the 66 of Darren Parsons, PRP seats and KC highlights, pulling for him to put it into the third spot onto the podium.
Looks like Luberg got a little bit of breathing room, holding strong in that third spot. Oh.
A spin out and hands off the wheel. Is that how you drive the corner?
I think that might have been a crowd salute. RJ's feeling pretty confident at this point.
Young man already being talked about as perhaps one of the best truck drivers around.
Yeah, very talented on the truck racing. Just, starting off his career, just been doing it for a few years, but he is wicked fast.
And he was wicked fast here in race number 2. It goes to RJ Anderson, followed closely by Sims. Brandon Sims does a nice job all race long in the 13X Lone Star Fox ride.
And Jason Luberg, our man of consistency all last year as well as apparently this year, comes from the back row and takes that third podium spot. Really an impressive drive.
Walker Evans Racing, RJ Anderson with the win and a little bit of sliding celebration. Second place, Brandon Sims for Lone Star and Fox Keystone Automotive and Lone Star Racing's Jason Luberg home in third. It was Anderson on the pole and Anderson throughout the race.
What a great start by RJ Anderson. Big hole shot, never looked back.
Cole Coutu had a rough race.
What a drive from Jason Luberg. Back row to the third spot on the podium. Good for him.
Let's now go down to our Polaris Razor winners interview with Laurette.
Well, RJ Anderson has been very consistent with go big or go broke and takes a win in round 2. RJ, did you meet your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, round 1 didn't go too good. So round 2, I was able to start on the pole and put together consistent laps and hold the car together, which is a big part on these treacherous track. So out here in Del Mar, we had a interesting mix of concrete to dirt, so it's hard on the cars when you do that transition. But stoked I was able to put it together and put this Walker Evans Racing Terracross car on the top box. I mean, my record out here is if you're not first, you're last. 10 races, I've won 5 and broke 5, so I'm consistently inconsistent, I guess you could say. But having a blast out here and battling with these guys, they get faster and faster every year, and it keeps you on my toes. So it's so fun coming to these races, battling, and just putting on a good show for the fans.
RJ Anderson with a convincing win in round 2. Great job. Guys, back to you.
A win for Anderson, but once again, it's Jason Luberg up front without a victory.
Luberg so consistent always. Not a big surprise that he's up front. RJ Anderson, big win today, puts him in the 3rd spot. Colton Moore, he's not too far back in the 5th position. And Jeremy Stenberg, he's in the top 10. Definitely looking for some great racing at our next stop at Heydays in Minnesota.
Can't wait for Minnesota. Can't come soon enough. For Paul Thacker and Laurette Nickel, I'm Kevin Barnett. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.